For some, taking a shot of alcohol or grabbing a beer is what you do when you want to kick back and relax, perhaps with some friends. But for these Hollywood stars, drinking was more than just a fun activity. It was a way of life. Sadly, it was also the path to their demise. An early grave dug from the bottom of a bottle. Let's talk about them. Barbara Payton. On one fateful day, Barbara Payton was arrested on Sunset Boulevard for intoxication and prostitution. When she was given a chance to be admitted to a detoxification unit, she refused, saying, "I'd rather drink and die." This statement, raw and unfiltered, echoed the depths of her despair and the grip that alcohol had on her life. What a lot of people don't know is that Barbara's battle with alcoholism began at home. It was said that her parents were heavy drinkers who often included her in their drinking binges. This early exposure to alcohol set a troubling precedent, and she turned to this vice to cope with the pressures of stardom. As a young actress, Barbara's striking beauty and talent quickly made her a Hollywood sensation, but the demands of fame and the harsh realities of the film industry overwhelmed her. In the 1950s, Barbara's life started spiraling out of control. She drank alcohol most of the time, and she also had a drug addiction. Scotty Bowers once said that Barbara was a high-class call girl as well. Her addictions led to a series of run-ins with the law, and as time went on, her stunning looks began to fade. She became a shadow of herself. She had numerous affairs and violent relationships, often leading to public confrontations. Sadly, Barbara spent her final years in a haze of alcohol, frequenting bars and pubs in a desperate bid to escape her reality. Her once glamorous life had turned into a series of painful encounters with the law and deteriorating health. Tragically, Barbara Payton died due to heart and liver illness at the age of 39. Frank Sinatra. Imagine it's the 1960s, and you step into a bar, only to find the legendary Frank Sinatra sitting at the counter. This is what he will order: 4 ice cubes, 2 fingers of Jack Daniels, and a splash of water in a classic rocks glass. As one of the most iconic singers of his generation, Sinatra was also notorious for his prodigious drinking habits. His preference for Jack Daniels was well known, with sources revealing that he enjoyed it any time of the day. He was so particular about his drink that he had his own signature concoction. Sinatra's drinking was not just a casual indulgence, it bordered on addiction. Rumor has it that he would drink an entire bottle of Jack Daniels daily, much to the astonishment of his doctor. Mitchell Fink once said, "It wasn't the Alzheimer's that killed Frank Sinatra, it was the bourbon." Sinatra was drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels a day until he was 80. When his doctors told him that he needed to stop drinking, he did what a lot of alcoholics do in similar circumstances: he switched to wine. Although he went on to have a successful career, his battle with alcohol certainly contributed to his health issues. Gail Russell. When Gail Russell was a teenager, her mother encouraged her to set aside her paintbrushes and drawing pencils and focus on becoming an actress. Little did she know that this decision would lead to her untimely death. Shortly after, she signed a contract with Paramount Studios, where her striking looks and potential quickly caught attention. However, Gail was painfully shy and found the demands of fame overwhelming. The pressure of being in the spotlight led her to drink, hoping it would calm her nerves and help her cope. Although she managed to grow a successful career through her roles in films like The Uninvited and Our Hearts Were Young and Gay, her personal life was in shambles. She had a highly publicized divorce, which affected her greatly, and had to spend time in a sanitarium. It was said that once she was released, she began drinking again. On November 26, 1953, the actress was arrested for drunk driving. Sadly, the addiction only got worse with time. In one of her darkest moments, Gail locked herself in her apartment, drinking heavily and painting alone. On August 26, 1961, Gail was found dead in her apartment. She had lost her battle with alcohol. She lay lifeless next to a bottle of vodka, and many more empty bottles were found in her apartment. She was only 36 years old when she passed. Oliver Reed. In a small bar on a street in Malta, a group of young men gathered around a burly Oliver Reed as he downed impossible amounts of alcohol. He had been challenged to a drinking contest, and Oliver was no coward. Little did he know he was moments away from tragedy. Oliver Reed had always been an ambitious young boy, dreaming of serving his country. standing tall with a boyish grin and rugged good looks. He seemed perfect for the army. But after enrolling in the military academy, a casting agent spotted him, and Oliver found himself in Hollywood. From role to role, Oliver captivated audiences, but he had a big problem only a few knew about. He was addicted to alcohol. Between breaks on set, Oliver could drink up to 3 bottles in 10 minutes and still crave more. He famously said, "I don't have a drinking problem, but if doctors told me to stop, I'd like to think I'd be brave enough to drink myself to the grave." In 1999, while filming Gladiator in Malta, Oliver consumed 3 bottles of rum, 8 bottles of German beer, and numerous shots of whiskey in a drinking contest. This time, his heart couldn't take it, and he suffered a severe heart attack, winning the contest but losing his life. Elizabeth Taylor. The iconic actress struggled with alcohol addiction throughout her life, a problem compounded by her tumultuous relationship with Richard Burton. Taylor and Burton were famous for their passionate and volatile marriage, often marked by alcohol-fueled fights. Their public and private battles with alcohol deeply impacted Taylor's career and personal life, leading to multiple stints in rehab. Despite her professional success, Taylor's health suffered greatly due to her addiction. Her persistent struggle with alcohol contributed to numerous health issues, including liver and heart problems. Eventually, these health complications led to her death in 2011 at the age of 79. Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart was not only a staunch alcoholic, but also an advocate for drinking. He believed everyone should drink as much as he did, even when alcohol was illegal. He gambled to support his drinking habit and befriended bar owners to keep his tab open. Bogart was a brilliant actor, but his excessive drinking led to esophageal cancer, and he passed away in 1957 at the age of 57. His alleged last words were, "I never should have switched from scotch to martinis." Richard Burton. At 12, Richard Burton was already drinking alcohol. Despite this, he nurtured big dreams and soon found himself in Hollywood, captivating directors and producers with his performances in films like Cleopatra and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. But behind closed doors, Richard's alcoholism grew worse. He was known for downing up to 21 tequila shots in a single night. Doctors warned him about his swelling kidneys and crystallized alcohol in his spine, but Richard couldn't stop. On a sad day in August 1984, Richard passed away due to his alcohol addiction, leaving a void in Hollywood. Peter O'Toole. Ever the adventurous man, Peter O'Toole was one of Hollywood's worst drinkers. He could easily drink a bottle of brandy every night. Born to an unstable family with a gambling father, Peter followed in his father's footsteps, but took it a step further. Peter had a knack for acting and made it into Hollywood. On set, he met his wife, Elizabeth Phillips, a conservative woman who never drank. Despite their differences, they fell in love. But Peter's drinking worsened, and he once said he would be content to die at 30 from excessive drinking. Instead, he lived until 81, developing stomach cancer and passing away from it. Jan Michael Vincent. Jan Michael Vincent was a teenage heartthrob and a talented actor, but he had a dark secret. He was a raging alcoholic. His addiction led to multiple arrests for drunk driving and public drunkenness. He even got into bar fights during the filming of Airwolf. His alcoholism ruined his career and life, leading to his death with numerous alcohol-fueled scandals behind him. He died of a cardiac arrest at the age of 74. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was a talented and handsome actor, but his addiction to alcohol cast a dark shadow over his life. Alfred Hitchcock once said, "Montgomery Clift always looked as though he had the angel of death beside him." Sadly, Clift couldn't overcome his addiction and died of a heart attack in 1966 at the age of 45. If you enjoyed this video, do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We're all about sharing interesting stories from old Hollywood. Also, let us know the topic you would like us to discuss in the next video.